Hola mi gente, welcome to the Money Chisme podcast, where we spill the real chisme on building wealth without the bullshit. Whether you're trying to invest, grow that side hustle, finally get your money right, or my favorite, buy rental properties, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Violeta, a first-gen Mexican immigrant, real estate investor, entrepreneur, and your financial hype woman. Get ready for tips, tricks, and expert advice straight from nuestra comunidad, porque el dinero es power and we're here to claim it. Don't forget, you can always find helpful resources down in the show notes and in descriptions, so make sure you check that out. This year, let's give the gift of financial literacy and personal growth. Today, I'm going to be doing a gift guide on some of the money books that I really enjoyed. And what's even better is all of these are written by either Black, Latina, or other minorities that are out here trying to bring some representation into the personal finance space. Now, all of these books will be linked in the blog listed below, but let's start off with some personal finance literacy books that I really enjoyed. And these are books that are geared to help you understand how money works, teach you money management. And the first one is actually part of a series, but I'm just going to mention this one here. And it is Clever Girl Finance. And it's a pretty quick, simple book. As you can see, I've tabbed it out. And it really teaches you how to ditch debt, save money, and build real wealth. So it goes kind of through some tips on how to get started with your personal finance journey. It talks about, strategies for debt, creating a money plan, like budgeting. You have things like, again, some loans and some investing 101. So there's quite a few things. I'm pretty sure you can't see that, but it's a really great beginner guide to get you into just learning about your money and how it works. And these other two are also similar. And these are people that I really like to follow. And I really love their motivation and how they're helping the Latinas in the community. And this one is Culture and Cash. And what I really like about this book is that she kind of brings up how us Latinas, especially first gen Latinas, because she is the first gen mentor, and she talks about how we have this struggle of trying to combine two money mindsets, basically, because over here in America, of course, we have, well, in the United States, we have a very individualistic culture, where in Mexico we have, or in lots of Latin countries, we have a collective culture. So our money mindsets are going to be different. And so in this book, she talks about how to navigate that and how to kind of merge that to include. So for example, a lot of us, we are our parents' retirement plan. I know I am. And she talks about how to accommodate that in your money plan, in your investing and all that stuff. And so I really enjoy that she talks about that. It really was kind of eye opening for me because I couldn't really put words to what I was feeling and the struggles, especially with all these money books. They're very individualistic and me, and or don't let anybody borrow money and things like that. And this one kind of goes through that struggle and how to really merge them together to fit the first gen Latina experience. But again, this is a great book. And again, it is a guide on learning how your money works through the Latina cultural lens. Now, similarly, we also have Financially Lit. This one is basically a really a little bit more thorough guide of exactly how to get your finances on point. Now, this book is also a great guide, but again, is through the cultural lens of the Latina experience. So, if you have a Latina friend, family member, or anything like that that would love this book, or just a woman of color, really, she goes through like the struggle with corporate and really talks about like, well, you can't wait for like things to go well, especially, like with our finance climate, our economy right now. She goes into how to get basically your money right so that way you could make change and gain financial freedom for yourself, how to invest, how all that stuff. So great book as well. Now, the next set of books are learning how to invest. So, how to make your money grow and work for you, because that is a really great game changer. And the first one, again, like I mentioned, it is by Clever Girl Finance, and is part of that series. And this one is Grow Your Money. And again, it talks about investing, how it works, what it is, different stocks, and basically a great little how to book. The second one that I also enjoyed was Wealth Warrior. And this one is how to conquer the stock market. And it's a step by step guide. She talks about how the stock market works so that way you understand. And she's really good. And she actually has a podcast as well. I think it's in the book. I'll try to remember when I edit this to add it in the show notes or in the blog. But yeah, she's really good and she gives updates here and there on her podcast about the status of our current stock market and stuff. And another fun fact, she actually just became a Texas representative of the Texas House. That's pretty cool. So she's out here trying to make change as well. And so definitely if you want to support her, get this book. Now, another way that you can invest your money is in real estate. I am a real estate investor and I invest in multifamily properties. This author I've been following for a little bit, and I'm so excited that she wrote her book. It came out just a little bit ago. I just actually got this earlier this week. So I barely just started reading it, but I've skimmed through it and I follow her work. And so I really like what she's trying to do. And it is the multifamily advantage. It's a little bit catered towards someone that is investing in single family homes because it talks about how she ended up changing her strategy in investing in multifamily homes. Again, I am an out of state investor. If you want to follow that, I'll link my podcast and my other YouTube channel where I talk about real estate investing. It is also a great beginner book because she goes into a lot of like the mindset of real estate investing. She talks about cash flow, making sure that you are going for the right properties that are for you. Because let me tell you, that is one issue that I see a lot of new investors struggle with is that there's so many strategies out there that they're kind of like trying to get everything, but you need to find the one that works for you. And so I really enjoy that she talks about that in here. And she also talks about like scaling. She talks about management. Now she manages her own properties. I don't. Because again, that's not my strategy because I want a little bit more passive, but she is more of an active investor. And yeah, definitely check out her book and definitely follow her journey because she's doing a lot of great things. Now, for your entrepreneur friends or family members, or even for yourself, gift yourself one of these books as well. I really enjoy was Leapfrog. There's a lot of wisdom, a lot of mindset as a entrepreneur. This is by Natalie Molina Nino, and so a Latina author. And I really like how she talks about us trying to fit into this business world that, doesn't really, fit us, right? Because it's catered towards, the males that have probably a wife at home that does all the heavy lifting and they get to focus on their business. And then same struggles we tend to always talk about. She gives you lots of great tips to kind of overcome that. and help you basically navigate the business world. So I really enjoyed this. I have a lot of little tabbies of good quotes that I like from this book. So another great one. Now this one's more kind of like side hustle that to bring in extra income, and it is the part of the series of the Clever Girl finance books, and this one is more of a side hustle guide, but it goes into like turning it into a little bit of a business, what a business is and all that. So although it talks about like the title is the side hustle guide, it definitely talks about, starting your business and growing that business. So great guide right here. The next one is Hefa in training. Now this is really a step-by-step guide. It literally you can just go down the list in setting up and starting your business, from figuring out what kind of, LLC you need, or if you want to do S corp or anything like that, your ideal customer, all of that, doing some market research. And I really like she has a lot of like little work. It's also a workbook basically, so you can actually do that. Setting up your business goals, and so it really is a great book if you are thinking about starting a business, or you're at the beginning of your business, or you just feel like your business is all over the place. I know I've had to do it several times to really narrow down like who my target customer is, what I want to do with this podcast. And so the first few years, I was like all over the place. And so, like, this is a great to kind of like sit down and really go through it and, get all your things in order for your business. Another great business book is Build a Beautiful Business con Confianza. This one I'm still in the process of reading. I like to skim my books and kind of like see, and then I go through them and actually really deep like read them. But again, this is someone that I follow and, support. So I was excited when her book came out, and I've been reading it, and it's really also a really great book on, setting up your business. But like this one is definitely like a step-by-step guide and doing all that. And this one is more kind of like your mindset, going through your mind of creating your strategy, even some team building, some leadership, figuring out what kind of strategy you want to do for your business. It really talks about like protecting yourself from fraud, cultivating a strong culture. It talks about your processes. Let me tell you, as somebody that really didn't have great systems or processes, that really was a struggle. So that's definitely a big thing that you want to get into, figuring out what systems you want, figuring out how you want to grow and what that looks like for you, and including your employees and all that, and really creating a good business that is centered around like not only yourself but your employees and all that. So really a great book. Now these last two books I want to talk about are more kind of like mindsets on kind of like personal growth, but still goes with, money, because some of these things affect your mindset. And the first one is Overcoming Financial Trauma. Now, I haven't received this book yet, ordered it, waiting for it to come in the mail, but I really love this author. He's actually been on this podcast, and I'll link his episode down below, where we talk about how our financial anxiety and traumas come from the systemic racism and all this stuff that we're going through. And especially right now with our current climate, it's definitely either triggering people or giving some people financial anxiety with, layoffs. You don't know if you're going to get a job. People are having a hard time finding jobs, all this chaos that's happening right now. So this is a great book and by a great author. Again, check out his episode if you want to see what he's about. But this is a great book. He's very knowledgeable. I'm excited to get it and read it and use it as a reference. But it's going to be a great book for someone that is struggling with anxiety with their finances and does maybe they avoid their finances because you might see someone and that is struggling financially, and you may think that, oh wow, they just make poor decisions, but that stems from something. So this book is going to be great for them to understand, or even yourself to understand why you make, those financial decisions, and maybe how to heal those so that way you can have a better understanding of yourself and make better financial decisions. So that combined with these money books can really set you up for financial success. Now, I want to just give a few honorable mentions of other gift ideas that you might have. So, although it's not necessarily a money book or anything like that, it deals with public speaking. It's still something that you have to use when within your business. At some point you're going to have to speak. For me, like this podcast, these YouTube videos, and it's something that I of course struggle with. And so I bought myself these public speaking cards, and they are basically some prompts. And the idea is that you get one and you kind of have to try to practice speaking, and they're broken down in different categories. So, for example, this one's movimiento, this is the body language. And for example, just this one is teaching you the pause with public speaking. And that is one that I really struggle with. I just ramble. I just ramble. So then when I edit these podcasts or YouTube videos, it's such a pain. But luckily, quick little plug with Riverside, I'm able to just like edit really fast with just the transcript and with all its features that it has. But yeah, if you are interested in Riverside, not sponsored or anything, I link it down below. It is an affiliate link, but I enjoy it. It has, again, like how I mentioned with the business books, it is all about your systems. And I was able to create a system with that and have knocked out a lot of hours that I used to spend on editing and all that. And it does like little reels and TikTok clips easily, like in one click. So I really like it. But back to the cards. So you have the movimiento, which teaches you pauses and hand gestures and stuff like that. And do that. And then you have emotion. So this one talks about your tone if with your speaking. And then you have like from the heart, del corazón. And then you have storytelling. So a great little set of prompts. So if you have someone that either does kind of like any type of public speaking or for yourself, definitely check those out. They will be linked in the description, and I'll link them in the blog as well. And the last honorable mention that I want to bring up, it is a academy. It's a mastermind. It is a group support membership, and it is by Say Hola Wealth. It is a friend of mine, Lucy, and I really also love her mission and what she is doing with the Latina community and women of color community. And she has a monthly group mentorship program that you could sign up for to get your finances on point, right? So it goes with investing, how to increase your net worth. And she mentors you, and there's group calls and all that. So I'll link that information down below. Now, the link is an affiliate, but again, I really support her mission and what she's doing with the Latina community. So definitely check it out. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know if you have any other suggestions of books that I may have missed that I didn't include in this guide. Maybe I could put them in future videos. Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like and share this episode so others can also find this podcast. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias listed in the show notes below, where you can also find resources to help you in your financial journey. If you're interested in becoming a guest on the podcast, you can find that information in the show notes. Other than that, thank you so much for your support, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.